All right, welcome back. A little new idea for you here. This one applies to learning and is most certainly would threaten to turn our current educational system on its head. What's unclear is whether it's good for America. A California school called the Khan Academy is reinventing traditional teaching by giving students lectures that they can watch at home on their own time, rewatch them if they'd like, and then having them do the homework when they're in school in the classroom.
By removing the one-size-fits-all lecture from the classroom and letting students have a self-paced lecture at home, and then when you go to the classroom, letting them do work, having the teacher walk around, having the peers actually be able to interact with each other. These teachers have used technology to humanize the classroom.
Well, the founder, Salman Khan, started out by posting lessons for his cousin on YouTube, and now the Khan Academy has over 1 million unique students per month and boasts more than 2,000 tutorials covering everything from basic addition and subtraction to advanced calculus, physics, and chemistry. And joining us now is Ben Goldhirsch, the CEO of Good. It's a company dedicated to moving the world forward through its website, magazine, videos, and events. He thought that Khan was one of the breakout stars at this year's Technology and Entertainment and Design Conference. And before we get to all this Khan Academy business, Ben, do you like it better when we're on opposite coasts, or would you be comfortable if I was to move out to California to spend more time with you?
I'd love to have you out here, Dylan. I think we do better in person.
And do you feel that you speak on behalf of the entire Southern California community when you welcome me into that universe?
The thoughtful ones.
Okay, the thoughtful. You know, we won't get into how many thoughtful ones there are, but we will get into this. Why did you decide to feature this so prominently with Good?
You know, for the past 2 years, Good and University of Phoenix have been focusing on solutions in this education space, and we haven't seen anything like it. And to contextualize the findings for you, look at Los Angeles. We have Teach for America, we have City Year, we have KIPP Academy, the best of social innovators. But they're facing a serious problem. 600,000 students in LAUSD with a 50% graduation rate. That's terrifying. And the bottom line is, the solutions that we have on the ground, in my opinion, aren't going to catch this problem. We need a disruptive technology. We need to really revolutionize how we're tackling this. Khan Academy is the first thing I've seen that gives me confidence that we're going to tackle it. It's the most exciting thing I've seen that we're going to do this. So I'm pleased to bring it to your show. I think we're going to dig into a good conversation.
All right, let's have at it. The man behind the ideas joins us, Salman Khan, founder of the Khan Academy. High praise for what you've got going from our friend Ben down there in Southern California. He's a thoughtful Southern Californian, is how he likes to refer to himself. What have you found as the biggest problem with this? What is the greatest barrier, the greatest resistance point to this?
Well, I think it's such a radical change to what traditionally happens in a classroom. I mean, if you're telling someone to do homework in the classroom, it's not called homework anymore. But I think once teachers and students get used to it, it's kind of like they start to think about what they even did before. You know, probably the biggest problem is, well, I wouldn't call it a problem. It's actually a great thing. In the same classrooms, we have a pilot over here in Northern California where you have a fifth grade classroom. This is their math curriculum, and that same fifth grade classroom, there's some kids doing third grade math and there's some kids doing trigonometry, and the teacher needs to feel comfortable with that. But what's cool about it is that they're getting a dashboard. They see where everyone is, and every student can work at their own pace.
If you were to look, Ben, at the problem of having same age, but at different places, right? That's the whole thing with this sort of the educational system, is you got one kid doing trigonometry and another one who's trailing behind. How do you see this? What did you see about this that you felt not only addressed the dropout rate, but addressed the variability in how people learn?
I mean, if you look at decreasing budgets and increasing class sizes, we need to solve the efficiency problem. And teachers' time is a limited amount. So having this technology where they can evaluate on a person-by-person basis where their kids are at, and they can have their classroom time to work with their kids who are at different levels directly, so they can be taking the lectures at home through Khan Academy, that's a big solution to a critical problem.
Salman, walk me through very briefly how this works. Let's say I've got a couple of kids. They're in a traditional environment. I'm intrigued by what you're saying. How would it work?
So every student works at their own pace. They literally do exercise at their own pace. They start 1 + 1 and they keep moving up all the way through algebra or trigonometry, however far they want to go. If they have trouble with anything, the videos are there. They can actually watch them at home or in class time. And the teacher, when they come to class, they don't give lectures, they don't grade homework, they don't give exams. They literally just get a dashboard and they see where every kid in the class is. And some kids might be ahead, some kids might be behind. And we actually see them flipping around. Some of the kids that were behind race ahead later on. And all the teacher does is look at the kids who are stuck. Look at the kids where the video and the software isn't enough for them to get past that problem. And then the teacher just intervenes on those kids, or even better, gets one of the kids that are already proficient on that module, because they have all of the data, to actually tutor their peers. And so you can have a class where everyone's working at their own pace.
Got it. You say that instead of penalizing failure and rewarding test-taking ability like our current system does right now, education should encourage failure and experimentation, but demand mastery. Why do you think this model achieves that?
Well, what we do is we force, in a traditional model, I'll give you some lectures, homework, and then we have a snapshot exam. And regardless of whether you get a 70 or 80 or 90% on that exam, we move on to the next concept. And no one ever asks, what was that 10% you didn't know? And so what we see happening in our school system is by the time people get to 8th or 9th grade, they're taking algebra. They're smart kids. They have a great algebra teacher, but they're still flunking algebra because they have that 10% gap from 5th grade math, that 15% gap from 4th grade math. So the way we're doing it is we're actually teaching math the way you would teach anything else. If you learn to ride a bicycle, you would stay on that bicycle until you master the bicycle before you try a motorcycle or a unicycle or anything more advanced. So what we're doing is we're making sure every kid has all of their gaps filled. So they literally start at 1 + 1 = 2, and they don't move on until they have 100% mastery.
Very quickly, Ben, what do you see as the barrier to scaling this?
I think it's money. Getting Khan Academy the resources they need to fill out their programming, and then getting school districts to adopt a pretty innovative solution. I think teachers are going to want this. It's going to help them do their job. And I think given what we're facing, as I said, 50% of a 600,000 person school district is looking to not graduate from high school. There aren't more jobs for high school dropouts right now. This must be adopted.
Yep. Listen, I wholeheartedly agree, and I thank you, Ben Goldhirsch, as America's thoughtful Southern Californian, for bringing that to our attention. And Salman, it's a true pleasure to meet you. Congratulations on what you've achieved up to this point, and do let us know what we can help you with in the future. Check out all of it, of course, on Good's website.